Hi, this is a really quick video which I'm just doing off the cuff. It's just about, the idea of, or the ideas that people have about what happens to us after we die. Because, some people have this idea that, oh well, there's reincarnation and we'll be reincarnated, and you do find some pagans really, they kind of dance about and say how wonderful that is, you know, we'll all go round and round and be reborn again into this life. And truthfully, I find that a really appalling prospect. Um, I really don't want to come back again like that. At least it doesn't particularly make me feel particularly good, the idea of that. I mean, coming back, being a child all over again, being born all over again. Oh, I don't know. Why would anybody want that? I have no idea. Um, but then you get people having this idea that, well, if you're a good person and you do good things, then you're going to have a, a good outcome after death, or even before death. But truly, as far as karma is concerned, or ideas about karma, in terms of any ever having any sort of moral content, um, if it has a moral content and if it exists, it seems to me that it's hiding itself pretty well. Because I don't see that working out in practice very much. I see some things working out in practice. If you function in a certain way, then it affects the way you grow. It affects what you become. So I certainly see that in terms of karma, but uh, the moral ideas people have, oh, I don't see anything to that. But I am reminded of a story I once read, which was recounted by a deadhead who'd gone off with his friends when he was young, and they'd all gone off up some hill somewhere, and they'd all taken acid, and they were all tripping, and he lay in the grass, and he experienced a state of death. He died in his consciousness, and he went on to an afterlife, and there he found that everyone was blissfully happy, basically. And everyone was there. Everyone. It didn't matter what you'd done or what had happened, whether you'd been a good person or a bad person or anything. You got exactly the same thing at the end of it. And you went to this place where your consciousness was freed. And in a way, that was the best possible reason for being a good person, however you want to put that. Because if that's what you get at the end of all of this, if at the end of all of this you just can just relax and it all unravels and it's all absolutely fine, whatever the story has been, then that makes much more sense then that you be a happy person, that you be a good person, that you have a peaceful time, or at least as peaceful as is enjoyable for you. That actually makes sense. Um, and I really, really liked that. It was one of the few scenarios that really made sense to me. Just the idea that at the end of this, you do get somewhere else, and it's way better. But everyone gets there. Everyone, no matter what. And I really like that idea. The idea that we'd all get there. And then it really makes sense that you have a good journey there, really. So, anyway, that's what I remember. The story is the one thing that made sense to me. Everything else does seem really rather like morality stories and silly things just spun out to try and make people behave this way or that way. Um, but that guy's trip, it actually made sense to me. I thought it was really quite profound and quite beautiful, and it makes sense of being a good person, however you want to take that. So I hope you enjoyed that.